Wow, this is a crowd. I mean,
Yeah, it is a crowd. It's
Yeah.
a good crowd, too.
yeah, it's really great.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Rob, what do you think?
This is amazing. So, I'm Robby. He's Brad.
I'm Brad. Hello. And is there anything you want to, you wanted to get them more excited, right?
Yeah, we got to teach you some dance moves, of course.
Okay. Are you guys okay? See, it's everybody's duty to give the world a reason to dance, and you guys are doing that. You want to dance?
Yeah, let's dance.
They want to. So can you teach them some dance moves?
Yeah, we need you guys to stand up
so get them up.
first.
Get them up. Okay. Now I'm not really good at dancing, but I like to. But so teach them your. Okay. So what's the first dance move?
I think it is the whip.
The whip. Okay. All right. Okay. We've not practiced this. So you ready? So go.
So first you lift up your leg,
Oh no.
and then you step, and then you stick your arm out. Yeah. And then you just do it in one motion.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Did they do all right?
Yeah.
Oh, what's another?
The wop.
Oh no. Okay. So what's the WAP? Show them the WAP.
Well, Brad, I don't know, man.
Come on, you're like the pro.
Okay, so you put one foot in front of the other,
Okay.
and then you cross your arms like that, and you just keep going back and forth.
Oh. I feel. Am I doing that right?
Yep.
Oh, nice. I don't think I am, but
No, you are. You got
okay.
it.
Teach one like I can do.
The pencil sharpener.
Oh, I got that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
Yep.
You can have a seat, everyone. Thank you. Wonderful
Yeah,
job.
you guys.
So, tell them you want to introduce. Who
Yeah. So really, we made these videos to try to make the world a better place because we saw anger and sadness, so we want to make them happy.
That's right. We want to make the world happy, and we want to make the world more awesome. And we've been on a really big adventure together as a family. We've learned that if you want to be awesome, the secret is to treat people awesome. And yeah. And so, Robby, I'm going to be like talking to these amazing human beings, and I'm a little nervous. I'm normally behind the camera. Can you give me a pep talk?
Yes. Be cute, be funny, be good. Well,
That's a terrible pep talk.
nah, just speak from the heart, man.
Is that heart dollars?
Yep.
Okay. Here's a glimpse of the adventure we've been on.
We're changing the world, y'all! I don't know it all, but I know a few things. It's time to be more awesome. Hello, Rainn Williams.
Wilson.
Our kid's Beyonce. It was magical. Oh,
Hurry, kid president.
I weigh 61 pounds. That's why I'm so heavy. The world will be more awesome if
Every interview was as good as this one with Kid President.
What's this called?
the pencil sharpener.
I like it.
Treat everybody like it's their birthday. This is nice, people. You got air coming through your nose. You got heartbeat. That means it's time to do something. Science. You hear? You take up space, you matter. Am I getting everybody? Am I getting everybody? What do you think, Big Columbus?
Fantastic.
Let's change the future. Create something that will make the world awesome.
So, my name is Brad. And I'm really awesome. I shouldn't have said that. I've been on a mission for as long as I can remember to help shape the way kids see the world and the way the world sees kids. I was deeply impacted as a young person when I had people around me who believed in me, and I've been trying to be the same for kids in the world today. My wife and I started a camp that's for kids who want to change the world. We started this nonprofit. We've been doing all this work. And then these little videos we made as a family connected with lots of people that weren't our family. And it was really scary. And this morning, this afternoon, whatever time it is, I don't know, I'm just a little nervous because in this room right now, if the world were a Twinkie, this would be the cream filling. And in a perfect world, I feel like I would be the only person in the audience, and all of you would be on stage and be like, hey, this is what I know, and this. But that's not how conferences work. And so I have to be up here. And so my dad always said, ask yourself the question, how can I be of best service to the world? And I'm on this stage today, and I guess my hope that the best thing I could do today is say something that sparks some sort of encouragement in you amazing human beings. And I think that would lead to beautiful things in the world. So today I want to share a bit of our journey. Compassion, creativity, and corn dogs is what we call this. So this is about you, and our little adventure started as a family project. When we film, I try to put things in the videos that are things I want my kids to grow up around. Like I fill them with the wisdom that I want them to know, how to navigate life being a person and how to treat other people. And in that, it's Robby and I having a whole lot of fun. And as you can see, in this clip I'm going to show you, a lot of what ends up in the videos are not things I wrote. They're just like us being ridiculous. And this is a clip I've never shown, but I found when I was cleaning out a hard drive. And it's him improvising a song. We did this video for mothers. And this is him improvising a song about moms. I just asked him, sing a song about moms.
In my belly, they taste so cheesy.
Look right here. Sing a song about moms.
Moms, keep doing what you're doing. Moms, keep shaking your booty. Moms, you're so good workers. You just got to shake that tail that your other mama gave you. Yeah, shake your tails. Yeah, keep working what you're doing. Keep what you're doing. Do what you're doing. Clean up my house and clean up my poop. Yeah, clean up what you're doing. Do what you're doing. Clean up my house, clean up my poop. Yeah.
So that's why I'm on stage right now. The videos are edited for content. My friend Glenn and Melton shared something really wonderful about how the last words we hear, hospice cares talk about some of the last things that human beings hear as they're passing from this place. People look at them and say, I love you. And the first thing that we hear when we set foot on this planet is people hold their babies and they're full of wonder and they look at them and go, dumbfounded, just, I love you. So the first and last words we hear as people are, I love you. And we spend the rest of that time forgetting that we're loved. There's a lot of things we forget, and that's part of my job is to help share things that to help us remember. So I want to share some things that I've learned on this adventure that are things we learned as kids that maybe we forgot that will help us on our journey. Things we learned as kids that could help us be better grown-ups. And what's really cool, something that unites all human beings, is that at one point we were a kid. Like every person. There's nearly 3 billion people right now under the age of 20. And just a few years ago, I was one of them. In my room, filming terrible videos of me reading poetry I wrote about cats. Thank goodness YouTube didn't exist yet. So there'd be hours of this. Yeah. Why wouldn't that girl talk to me? Like all these terrible things. What's so cool and what I hope helps you is that I was being uniquely prepared for an adventure. You are being uniquely prepared right now for something magical. Something that you could share with the world. Like, this is a room full of wizards. Don't hide your magic. Like, we're all being prepared for something really cool. And I had no clue. I grew up in a town about the size of this room, and that we would create something that would reach millions of people. And along the ways, I've only learned things that I already knew. Things like, be nice. If everybody's nice, it really makes things nice. One of the things in the Kid President videos is something my grandmother taught me, which is to treat everybody like it's their birthday. And it's something we've tried to live by in everything we do, whether it's like the person on camera or the person who's cleaning up after the people on camera or wherever. Like, it's trying to treat everybody like it's their birthday. We call what we do as a family a joyful rebellion. Because typically rebellions are fueled by anger, and they're just frustration and typing in all caps and throwing tea in bodies of water and just like, ah! But we are part of a rebellion that's fueled by a joyful vision of how things could be. And in this room today is a room full of little joy rebels who are casting this like, oh, the world could be this way, and you're joyfully chasing after that. And so as part of that, like one of the things we do, we talked about earlier, social media, like we take a chance and hug our haters online. So, because haters gonna hate, but huggers gonna hug. And so we're just like, and they get really confused when you're like, you're awesome. They're like, I was making fun of you. Like, I know, but you're so great. I love your profile pic. Another thing that I've been reminded of is that I matter. And this morning I want to share this with you, that you matter. Your voice matters. The story you're telling matters. I'm in this room today because at some point somebody believed in me and told me that my story was important. My parents loved me, but one of the people who really understood me was my 4th grade teacher. I was the weird pale kid with awesome legs who would do the test but then would draw pictures or would write stories. And instead of saying like, that wasn't part of the assignment, you fail, like your legs are terrible, instead she said, great job. And you know what? Your stories are so inventive and so interesting. I think that we should pack up your drawings and I'm gonna send them to Walt Disney Feature Animation. I was like, what? Me? Okay. So I went home, drew all these pictures, got all my stories together. I got a tape recorder and recorded me telling stories and doing voices and all this stuff. And we sent a package. My 4th grade teacher sent a package to Walt Disney Animation. A couple of months later, I got an envelope in the mail. The return address, Walt Disney Feature Animation, had a little picture of Mickey Mouse. I happened to be the one to get the mail, and when you're a kid, getting mail to your name is like, what? And then it had Mickey Mouse on it. I literally flew into the house, and I was like, Mom, I got a letter, and I'm gonna be famous, this is amazing. And we opened it up, and the letter said, Dear Brad, me, Dear Brad, we regret to inform you, but we cannot legally accept submissions from outside sources. So you're saying there's a chance. All right. Like, my mom was just like, oh, poor kid. And I'm like, this is the best. Like, whatever. But, so it's a really kind breakup letter. But in the corner of the letter was a note. Somebody, intern, probably did this. I don't know. But it spoke to me. It was this little note, and I have it here. It said in the corner, P.S., thanks for making our day. Keep sharing your voice. My 4th grade teacher told me that my voice mattered. She listened to me. And a couple of months ago, when I got to do this, meet my hero Grover, I sent her an email and this picture and said, "This is all your fault." World Domination Summit, you are powerful. Yes, you. I'm not talking to everybody else. I'm talking to you. Like, you are powerful. And something we're told when we're kids is to share. And that sharing is good, but we forget that we should share, to share our lives, to share our magic. But don't just share your content, share opportunities. And as a kid, when you have a birthday party, you invite everybody to it, not just your friends. You're like, I want to invite my grandma and my teacher, the lady in the lunchroom, my dental hygienist, and that's what we try to do. So we have Kid President, we've been inviting everybody. So we're like, hey, we're going to have a big online dance party. Send us pictures of you, videos of you dancing. People from all over the world send us videos of them dancing. Some of them above land, some of them in water, some of them all over. Entire people got together and had dance parties. We're like, this is really fun. You know what else is contagious? Laughing. Could you send us in videos of you laughing? So people from all over the world send us videos of them laughing. I don't understand how that kid had an email address, but it's amazing. And then another thing, we like corn dogs. So we had this thing in a video where we said that something everybody should do is to surprise their friend and say, here's a corn dog I bought for you, just because you're my friend. Well, of all the things we put in videos, that's like a thing people went, yes, I'm going to do that. So we've had people all over the world who took that to heart and then started like having this corn dog revolution of we're going to give a corn dog for you, a corn dog for you. Everyone gets a corn dog. And people like really, it meant a lot to them. So then we saw all this silly stuff. We're like, what if we could do something really cool? Like we could invite people to a really big party. This is a joyful rebellion. So we we have this project called Socktober, where for now 5 years, every October we declare it Socktober. And the idea is how can we find a fun way for everyone to engage in helping their neighbors who are homeless? These men and women who are homeless, as these shelters are getting ready for the cold weather, they need to be stocked up, not just with socks, but with other items. And also the men and women who are homeless just need friends. So let's have a month that's all about that. And amazing things happened.
Socks, socks, socks.
So first graders at Van Horn Elementary School are collecting socks during the month of October, which has now been dubbed Socktober. The kids got the idea from a popular video series called Kid President.
This is crazy. We're collecting socks to help the homeless. Happy Socktober! Hey, Kid President. Mom and I just packed a box for the shelter.
Did you know it's Socktober?
This past year, we had a Socktober drive that happened on every single continent in the world. Amazing. And we live in a town that's about the size of this room, and not much that we have. It's not a big budget. Our set is made of cardboard. We have a can and string for a phone. And yet that can and string is connected to the leader of the free world, has connected to best-selling authors, to kids, to teachers, to human beings all over who care. So take a chance with what you have, even if it's just chicken nuggets.
I'm Beyonce. Hi, I'm Kid President. It's so cool we're in a video together. I know. I've been waiting for you to ask me, Kid President. Let's make the world better.
So that was a video we sent to Beyonce. I went to Beyonce.com. And found every contact address I could and sent that video. I was like, hey, Kid President wants to do a video with you, and here's what it would look like in chicken nuggets. Yeah. It was literally a day later we got an email back, let's do it. And so it happened, and it was this amazing meeting. And then we were contacted by the United Nations, who said, how did you get in touch with Beyonce? We've been trying to get her for a year. And I was like, Well, I went to Beyonce.com and I used chicken nuggets. But ordinary things can become extraordinary when they're used in love. Another thing I've learned, and I've learned this because my collaborator in this project is a kid, and that's to enjoy it. It's not something he has to write on his hand to remember. It's not something that he has to be like, okay, I got to enjoy this. It's just natural. And a lot of people see Kid President and they see him dancing and happy, and they're like, that's the way it should be. But a lot of people don't know is that this boy has had over 80 broken bones in his life, that he has a condition known as osteogenesis imperfecta. So he's just like any other kid, except his bones break. And he's had surgeries, rods in both his legs, and he's been through so much, and yet he dances. In the bottom corner, you can see that he's got this red cast that's on both of his legs. He's had to wheel around the house in a little cart. I remember going to visit him in the hospital, and that's in that picture right up at the top, and he could barely move, and I was prepared to be there to encourage him. And instead, he was smiling and dancing with the only thing he could move, his head. So anytime I'm having a bad day, I just remember that there's always a reason to complain, and there's always a reason to dance. Choose to dance. And you all are giving the world reasons to dance, and I thank you for that. And in just a moment, he's going to come out here, and I need him to think that I just really nailed it. So once upon a time, there was this pale guy that people had never heard of who stood up on a stage, and he spoke from his heart and hopefully said something of value, and he got a standing ovation. Thank you. The end. Thank you. Thank you.
Wow.
I did great.
Wow, you must have did really good. Oh, thank you.
See, I killed it.
Wow. You did really good.
Yeah, great. You want to sit here? You sit over here.
Okay. Wow, Brad, I can't believe it. You did really good.
I know, right?
Are you surprised?
Yeah, they really gave him a standing ovation. That was amazing.
We gave them some money later. We promised them some more yogurt parfaits later. So, awesome job. Thank you. Welcome back to the stage. So we'd love to do some questions. So Jolie will facilitate down here in the front row. If you are in this section and you have a question for Kid President, you can actually go ahead and get up and maybe line up behind Jolie. And we'll do as many as we can in just a few minutes.
Smiling. Oh, hey, what's happening? I feel like we know each other. You're my spirit animal. I just harness you every time I teach. And what I want to ask you is, who are people that inspire you? Because you inspire so many people, and I just want to know who inspires you.
Well, first, Hugh Jackman. He's pretty great.
Didn't even have to think about it.
And then this guy.
Oh, wow. Thank you. That's good. Good.
Hi, you guys all awesome. Thank you so much. In your busy life, do you have time for a girlfriend?
I'm interested to know the answer to this, too.
Yes.
Changes.
Is there...
Hi, Kid President. My name's Marvin. I actually wanted to ask you a question, but I have a lovely 7-year-old niece who's a big fan. I'm a big fan, but she's an even bigger fan, and I think she actually has a crush on you. So she sent me here with a letter that she wrote.
Oh, wow.
And yes, please. And her name is Gianna, and she says, "Dear Kid President, I have one question for you. out of all the things that you need to do as a kid president, what is your favorite thing of all?
My favorite thing to do as kid president is making the videos with this guy and trying to make the world a better place.
Thank you.
How sweet of you to share her question. That was so sweet.
So, Mr. President, sometimes I get really scared that I won't succeed or do well, and I'm curious if you have any advice when I get afraid.
Don't be afraid.
Thank you.
Done. You're done.
Just a quick interruption to say we could actually have a few more people if people want to line up behind there. Just a couple more.
Hey there, Mr. President. I don't have a question for you, but I have something to get you started for Socktober if you want.
Throw it!
Whoa, nice catch!
Thank you.
Thank you. This is really awesome.
Cool socks.
Mr. Kid President, pirates or ninjas?
Oh.
Ninjas.
Excellent choice.
Hi, Mr. Kid President. Big fan. Thank you for being here today. Question for you is, what's it like working with Brad? He talked a lot about working with you. Want to know your perspective.
He's fun. He's really fun to work with. He makes it easier to work. He's very creative, which you saw his drawings. He used to have beautiful legs. He's great.
Awesome.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Final question.
Used to.
Used to.
More people? Come on up.
I have a two-parter for you, if that's okay. If you could just do one thing to make the world a better place, what would it be?
No anger. I'm tired of this anger. It's like, like everyone should be happy.
And if you could sum it up in a song, what would it be?
I'd say I think we could allow anger. I think we could allow people to talk about their anger in love. Maybe.
Yeah.
Like
That's
to share.
what
It's
he
okay to
said.
be angry. It's good to be angry. It's good to deal with it without typing in all caps.
Hi, thanks for coming. You seem to have a lot of answers, so I'm curious, do you know what the meaning of life is?
I don't know. The meaning of life. Brad, you're going to have to help me out on this one.
I'm still searching myself, but I do feel this, that the meaning is truly to be loved and to love. And reflecting that is vital. It's vital.
Thank you.
Well, hello, President. Out of all the impactful things that you've made on this world so far, what has been your favorite one?
Drop my socks.
Thank you.
The pep talk. I think the pep talk was the really one that helped the most. That's the one that started us to go, like, get in this drill. You know, yeah. The pep talk.
Yeah, that was fun.
Let's do 5 more questions. We'll stop with the last person in the line.
Hi, Kid President. When you're having a bad day, what do you do to get yourself in a better mood?
If I'm having a bad day, probably go to this guy's house and watch some movies.
Yeah.
And probably, I don't know. That's a really hard question.
Well, I've seen you deal with bad days, and I've seen you do it really. I've learned a lot from you. So when you're having a bad day, like for instance, there's this. Sometimes he has to go. Like we have to go to the hospital, and where I would be like, I got to go to the hospital. His response is, they have really great hamburgers at this hospital. Like,
oh, yeah.
It's always,
There's
seriously, you're
like,
always, like, looking for the awesome.
When we have to, like, go through surgeries, after the surgery, you can get a free hamburger, which is really good.
This is, like, the best. That's the best way to see life. And for me, when I'm having a bad day, I just have to pause and remember who I am. And remember that I have this family. I have my son and daughter. remember who I am, and that helps.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Hi, Kid President. How are you?
She's a little excited.
I'm very excited. You are one of the most incredible kids that I have ever seen, and you inspire me every day, as well as obviously millions of others. But you're not going to be a kid forever. What are you going to do when you're an adult?
When I'm an adult, I'm gonna try to be a kid, just like this guy.
Thanks. That's really sweet.
Hi, Kid President. It's nice to meet you. If you had anything to say to the doctors and nurses and the people in the hospitals who take care of people, what would you say?
Keep taking care of people the way you're taking care of people.
You've been helped by a lot of great nurses, some incredible doctors. It's amazing what they do. They're true heroes. My mom's a registered nurse, and it's just incredible.
Dear Mr. Kid President, what is one
She's
thing
writing a
that you
letter.
think everybody... Gotta recover. Okay. You're fine. You're doing great. What is one thing that you think everyone should do in the morning when they wake up that doesn't have to do with hygiene?
Brad? They gave you standing ovation. I'm looking up to you now.
Well, first you high five the sky, you high five yourself in the mirror, and I mean, you do a little dance every morning as part of your routine, I think. That's a good start.
I'm a fan of that.
Read a great novel, write an essay about the great novel, blog about your anger, manage your brand online, wrestle with your insecurities.
That's a lot of options. Yeah, a lot of options there.
And then brush your teeth.
So we know you like corn dogs, but what's your favorite cereal?
Fruit Loops.
Okay, last question.
Mr. President, you're the world's most powerful man. I love your new world order of gratitude and love. Is cash still king?
What?
Is cash still king? Cash.
Cash.
Money. Oh.
What do you think of money? That's what he says.
What do you think about money?
Is money in charge? Is money...
No, it's not. You're in charge of yourself. Like, you don't need money to be in charge.
We got invited to this crazy conference a while. This is a good kind of crazy. We got invited to this one. There were all these people, and we heard all these people talk about like all the money they were gonna make and all this stuff. And I was like, I feel so gross. Why are we here? Why are we here? And then Robby got on stage, and we kept our thing very short. And this is what he said. It's like, don't make money, make a difference. We're out.
That's great. Amazing job. Ladies and gentlemen, Brad Montague, Robby Novak, Kid President. Kid President. All right.